Okay, hi everyone. I thought I would give a update on Fluoxetine, how it's going for me, because I haven't done a video in a while, and a few people have been asking how it's going. So, like, I thought I would just talk about some. I thought I'd do a video where I talk about the positives and the negatives of Fluoxetine for me, like how it's affected me so far in good and bad ways, and I've recently reduced my dose. I was taking, I think, 40 milligrams, like 2 tablets a day, and I've recently gone back to taking one, and it's with a view to try and taper off and end up not taking them anymore, because I was getting some problems with it, which I'll talk about later on in this video. But I also want to say it's kind of like it's with a bit of a heavy heart that I'm giving it up, if that makes sense, because I feel like it's had really good benefits for me, and I'm kind of sorry to have to give it up, really. So I'll talk about some of the positives of fluoxetine and how it's helped. Like I think basically it in a lot of ways it's made me into a better person, which is kind of weird to say, but I think that's true. Um, yeah, with the anxiety, what I've noticed, like what I didn't notice beforehand, but what I've noticed since taking the fluoxetine, and as the anxiety's gone away, is how much it sort of affected everything in my like day-to-day interactions, just as much as like just little things, walking down the street, like my walk, my body language, the way I interacted with people, my tone of voice, all these things. It's just my like approach to life, like going outside. Like I used to have to sit around in the house for about half an hour, sort of psyching myself up just to go walk up to the shops or something like that. And now it's like that's just gone. I can just go out, and I haven't got these like irrational anxieties anymore. Like just like talking to people, a lot less irritable, a lot calmer, a lot happier. I work in a retail, and I've noticed that my work, like my what's the word for it? My job performance has improved immeasurably as a result. One is like I'm not really bothered about like sales, like like pushing sales on people. I'm not one of these like pushy sales people or anything, but like it just like naturally like my like your sales for like how many people you get to sign up for like a loyalty card or whatever. Like I say, I'm not a pushy person with them. I don't really care if people sign up for them or not. But just naturally, like from me having like a more open, more sort of inviting body language and happier, and they're looking people in the eyes when they're talking to me, and smiling and all these things which I didn't really notice. I haven't made a conscious effort to change, but it's just naturally from having this anxiety go away. That's how it's like improved me as a person, and yeah, and like I say, my performance at work has gone up, like and just stuff like like my energy levels at work, like how fast it would take me to get a job done. My confidence as well, in like sort of like if a customer asks me if we've got something in, I'd say, oh no, we haven't, sorry. 'Cause I worked in the same place for like 7 years. I pretty much know where everything is. It's just like I noticed since taking it that my way of answering questions from people has changed. Like I used to say, oh, I don't think so. Like, oh no, I don't think we've got that in. I'd go and ask someone else, because I'd feel like anxious that I was given like a wrong answer or something. Whereas now I just feel confident, because like I do know it, and it's just like I haven't got like irrational anxieties controlling my thoughts. Yeah, so like a lot of ways, like that in my job, but also how that translates into just every day, just interacting with people, just being happier and more like, just being able to like talk to people, random people, and just I don't know. I think stuff like that will improve your quality of life. Um, and if I hadn't taken the fluoxetine, I wouldn't have seen that side of myself. Really, I wouldn't have known that was how the anxiety was and depression was affecting my personality and my interactions. Like I wouldn't have got that different perspective unless I'd taken the pills. Um, what else? I'm trying to think of other benefits because I think I've talked about them on other videos. Just like my mood elevated and not like not getting like randomly annoyed by stupid little petty things. Um, Sleeping was better. Um, I can't remember what else. But then I want to talk about the negatives, the ones that the reason why decided to start tapering off and eventually stop taking it was because I did start to encounter a few problems with it, and they were okay at first, the side effects, but they started getting stronger and more sort of alarming. Um, the worst one was the tiredness, which I've talked about on other videos where I said, oh, it's not too bad, like it would just come and go, I could deal with it. Well, the tiredness just sort of got worse and worse and worse. Sometimes it'd go away for a few weeks, but then like it'd come back. Eventually, it was just like I was just sleeping for like 10 hours a day, um, waking up, getting up for a few hours. If I wasn't in work, I'd just end up walking around the house for a bit and then lying on the sofa and falling asleep again for several hours. Well, like 2 hours maybe. So it was like 12 hours of sleep a day. Um, if any time I was like in a car or just sat down, like I would go for a meal at my mother-in-law's house and I'd have my dinner and I'd just sit there and I'd like fall asleep instantly. Just randomly just fall asleep, just like a light bulb's gone off and I'm just asleep. If I was in work and like up on my feet, it didn't really affect me that much. But yeah, whenever I stopped, I just fell asleep, and it was getting really bad. Like I was getting so tired, it was like affecting me. It was like negatively impacting my life, more than the benefits I was getting from the tablets. Um, Another thing I was getting was which I've still kind of got, was like a kind of nervous tick. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a sudden jolt like that. Like I'd be going like I'd just be sat there and I was getting it about 20 times a day. I'd be sat there and I'd suddenly go like jolt, like all my muscles would tense up, and it was kind of I don't know. It's kind of it was starting to worry me. Like it felt like a bad side effect from the tablets, and I thought, this isn't right. I'm gonna nip this in the bud. I don't want to end up with like a. I imagine that's what people with Tourette's get, like a tensing, and it seemed to be like I'd be thinking of something which was like would give me momentary anxiety, but like I'd like tense up and like block it out of my mind, but unconsciously, and that like my body would suddenly tense, and it was gone. And I don't know, it feels wrong. It's like it's almost as if my body's having a physical reaction to blocking out all this anxiety. I the pills must be sort of blocking it somehow, but it's like my body's fighting back somehow. Honestly, it sounds weird. It was, and I've gone back down to 20 milligrams, and I'm still getting it a little bit, but it seems to be going away. And yeah, another thing was that I was just getting like really sort of like every morning when I woke up, I was getting like really depressive thoughts. Like I don't want to say like suicidal. It wasn't like I'm contemplating suicide or anything like that. I've never been that bad with depression and stuff, but like to contemplate suicide. But it was like thoughts of that nature were kind of intruding into my brain almost. Like every morning I'd wake up and I'd have thoughts of like really dark thoughts. Um, I don't really know where it was coming from. It's not like I've got any sort of extra stress at the moment, and it felt more like it felt like an alien thought was sort of entering my mind, and it was starting to worry me. It feels like maybe the way the tablets, like how it's sort of blocks out a lot of stuff. It's sort of maybe it sort of starts to seep out in other ways. I don't really know, but so like that, dark thoughts, weird twitching, and sleeping problems. Also, I was grinding my teeth constantly, like especially in my sleep, just like grinding my teeth. Um, like I'm on some kind of drug or something, which I am, but like I'm on some kind of narcotic or like a amphetamine or something. I don't know. But anyway, those three or four symptoms were getting worse and worse, and more concerning to me. So I went to the doctor and just said, look, you know, these tablets are like they really have helped me so much, but like I really don't want these symptoms to get any worse. I just need to nip it in the bud now because it's concerning to me. So I've I he said, right, okay, so I think I've been taking them for about 10 months now, and he said, right, yeah, you're gonna have to taper off them. You can't just stop taking them straight away. But he said, go back down to one tablet and then see how it goes. And then if in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go back to see you and see how I'm getting on. A lot of those symptoms have gone away. I've only been taking the 20 milligram for a few days now, maybe 4 or 5 days, and actually I feel like quite a lot better. A lot of those symptoms have gone away. I still get a little bit of a twitch now and then. But I've noticed like I'm getting more irritable. I feel a bit more sort of spiky, and I don't know. It's kind of it's nice because like I say, I've had another perspective of how these negative things affect me, and maybe now I can just sort of change them naturally without having to have the tablets. Maybe I can just look at how I was on the tablets and how I am off them and make those changes. So I'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll just stick to 20 milligrams for a bit if it goes all right, but I think I'm probably going to end up coming off them completely. I don't want I would just want to say again, like I say on all these videos, the sort of side effects and the positive effects I've been getting are all just my personal take on it, and I don't want you to think that that's how it's going to affect you. This isn't meant to be any sort of advice for anyone. It's just a personal sort of diary and vlog of how it's been going for me. And yeah, there you go. I just wanted to say that because yeah, I don't know. I was getting a bit worried about those side effects, and yeah, that's probably all I want to say. I want to keep these short because I don't want to go on 20 minutes talking about fucking tablets and things. Just people asking me about them, and I thought I'd do an update. So I'll keep on with this dose for a while, and then maybe start to come off them completely. I'll see how it goes. Last night I couldn't sleep, and then when I did sleep, I was getting like nightmares. And one time my wife was shaking my arm to wake me up because apparently I was choking in my sleep, and I was like shaking around and grabbing. I grabbed hold of her and stuff, and I was dreaming about this weird goblin thing talking to me. So yeah, I don't know. I've not really had any nightmares whilst I've been on the fluoxetine 40 milligrams. So I don't know if it's some kind of side effect, like withdrawal side effect, but yeah, I'm getting some sleep problems now because it's changing my dose. But there we go. I'll keep this under 15 minutes so everyone doesn't get fucking too bored listening to me. Alright, anyway, if there's any input or any experiences similar to mine, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.